Ah, personally, it's my identity. I see it as me revealing myself a lot. I mean, I don't mean that in a rude way, but you know, if it wasn't for art, people wouldn't know me. If you get where I'm coming from, and people close to me might understand that. You know, some people would say, you know, you have to do art, don't you? You know, and that's the story that I've heard from fellow friend artists as well. You know, they have to do it. I think to get into a creative space, well, for me personally, I need quiet. I need people to bugger off. Solitude, probably. I don't like seeing other people seeing what I'm doing. You know, I don't mind sharing it after it's done, but while I'm doing it, I need to have solitude. Other people can do it in front of other. I don't know, like going into a closet, closing the door and honing in on those thoughts or those images that you had in your head previously. Some of it was stolen from dictionaries or various textbooks we might find. A cut up method. So you'd take a few paragraphs from a textbook or a magazine and just find certain lines from it and match them up, basically. And what does art mean to me? Well, it's more of a, I don't know, it's just something that we do or can do, I guess, or an urge, if you like, inside. Yeah, kind of like an itch that needs to be scratched in some ways. I was in Sydney, Auckland, Hamilton, or just renting a cottage out in the country, living with a sheep, basically. Sydney, I was living alone in a van on the side of the road, sending back little cassette recordings, walking around with a tape deck and recording questions that I might go up to someone and ask if they knew where Huntly was. And you know, this is in the middle of Sydney. Just silly little things. Putting it, you know, you might have that something in your mind, say about a cafe somewhere you saw maybe riding your yacht up the hill and wondering why is it not on the ocean, kind of thing. Going back to that thought later and jotting down or, you know, adding to it. And yeah, it's playing with your mind, basically playing with your thoughts. Who is Jason? That person is inside you. When it's revealed, it certainly is revealed, and people know it. Jason was an alter ego of mine. Yeah, I remember living in King's Cross, and I just imagine a guy who's, I don't know, a crazy guy who didn't like his mince pie and threw it into the gutter. And you know, like a real sad case, like even the birds in the trees whisper, get fucked. I think that originates back from when I was writing as young as like 12, 14 years old. I'd make stories up of some sort of alter ego. I remember there was one, Sam Sampson jumps into a swimming pool with no water in it. It's not something you go around telling people, and I'm surprised that I'm even telling you in this interview. Because it's kind of almost a mental illness of my own in some ways, but at the same time a medication, and that's creative. It's just capturing that. I mean, I think everybody does that, but not everybody writes it down or documents it in any type of media. You know, whether it be film, music, writing, whatever. Yeah. Like, thank art for art, because without it, what have you got? You know, you've got doctors who might give you some Panadol, but hey, I think I would be still making art of some sort But yeah, you kind of do need an audience now that I think about it. They're a sponge. I think the audience is a sponge. It kind of channels the work you've done. Like, I imagine the work being done, and once you've performed it or recorded it, it funnels through that audience and can drift away from your soul in a sense, which makes it just that much more worthwhile. So in effect, I think no audience. Yeah, it's probably not a good thing. Otherwise, what's it all for? All that work, you know. Yeah, I mean, in some ways I've had no audience, not a real audience, because it's been so minimal. I mean, it's very underground. Just seeing the reactions of an audience is on their faces, they are looking to see where you're coming from, what you're about, and what makes you think that way. Some with intrigue, you know, some with disgust or pleasure for other people, laughter. It's like you offer someone a cup of tea. You're not drinking that cup of tea, they are. So, you know, they can make of it what they will. More sugar, please.